Hi, Phil Hodkinson again, Quality Manager at UK Versity. What I'm going to talk about today is standardisation. It's a very important process in that with any range of assessors there'll be a difference of opinion on what amounts to a pass or what amounts to a different grade, and it does wonders to bring a group of assessors together, as we've recently done at UKV, and we give them a set of documents which will outline a course. It will say what that course needs, what it requires, what the learner or student has to do, and it'll even tell the assessors what the guidelines are for the assessment, what needs to be there, what they need to see. Now on that and the actual criteria of each of the units that they do, it will be specific as to what's required. Now some of it is open to interpretation sometimes, and that's when questions can come in for the assessor team or any part of the assessor team. I, of course, as quality manager, am expected then to answer those questions. Sometimes, because of my experience, I can say, yes, okay, what you need to do is such and such a thing. On other occasions, I may say to it, well, I'm not quite sure what they actually want there. It's not quite clear what the awarding body's written down, or they may have misspelled something or used a wrong word even. And then it's my job then to contact the awarding body and say to them, you know, we've got an issue here. What's the response to that? And they will probably come back with a response certainly within a couple of days, and we'll be able to resolve it that way. But the other way is to, like we did today, we gave each of the assessors the same set of documents for the same students, which were unnamed of course, and some blank documentation to provide their assessment decisions on. We went through this process with 4 different qualifications at level 3, at level 4, at level 5, and again at level 7. In some cases outside the assessor's normal remit. They wouldn't normally assess on that programme, but it's important to get some feedback from them because they will have to stick exactly to the guidelines. An assessor who is qualified in that area, who's got a lot of experience in delivering the material and then assessing it afterwards, will be able to make decisions much quicker and more easily because they understand what's required. So it's important that that assessor gets feedback from the others in case he's been being too lenient because of his experience and knowledge, or in case he's been being too harsh. So that then, after that process, I mark everybody's name up on the board and the actual section that we've looked at, and to see if we've all come to a similar decision. And I'm happy to report that this morning on the session we did this morning that with the exception of one unit, we were able to all arrive at the same decision on each of the pieces of work. On the one that we didn't, the assessor whose job it was to assess that area actually had passed it as an achievement. The others thought it was perhaps borderline. But then again, the assessor involved could explain that some of the work that we had missed was in another part of the unit that he'd already seen. So he was probably at an advantage of us from then. But of course, this brings out to the discussion how we actually assess and what helps us to make those decisions. Now, once that process had been carried out, I would expect then assessors to be able to certainly assess in their own area, but also to help the workload if it's an area that's not normally in their remit. For instance, I've recently assessed some IT work at level 5. I'm not at level 5 IT, but the subject was project management, something I've got a lot of experience in. So I was able then to comfortably be able to actually assess that and be confident that the assessment was valid and it was actually fair, because the assessor for IT concurred with what I'd said. Okay, I think that's covered just about what standardisation's about, and I hope that you will take something from this and be able to move forward yourselves.
Education that empowers lives.